So I wanted to make this really nice beginning with my cute dog, but I forgot my treats and she wasn't interested. So here's me doing it alone. Hey, I'm Wendy, and today we're learning a toad. A cougar, and lastly an awesome Annie, which if you haven't guessed already, this trick is totally awesome and I love it. First, we're learning a toad. Let's start with some basic forward jumps. Step number 1, arm placement. Now there's so many different ways you can do a toad, that means different arm placement techniques, but today we're going to learn the easiest one. One more thing before we start, I'm doing the toad on my right side. That means I have my right knee up. You can obviously do it on the left side too, you just have to switch everything I'm saying to the other side. So, arm placement. When doing a toad, you have one arm above your leg and one arm under it. Lift your right knee up and place your hand above it. Now put your left hand under your leg. The leg that you're bending should be a little bit over a 90-degree angle. The leg you're standing on should be straight and steady. And yeah, you might need some balance for this trick. And one last time, stand up straight. It just looks better, it's easier, plus you do not want to look like a 90-year-old grandma with a walking stick. Arm placement is crucial when learning a toad, so be sure you're comfortable with it before moving on. Step number 2, jump in arms. You're going to take a slow jump and put your arms into position. One above your leg, one under your leg. You cross your arms when the rope is kind of somewhere in front of your chest. Do not cross them sooner, you have enough time. Step number 3, slow toad. You're going to take a slow jump and attempt doing a toad. Remember, arms, legs, everything. When jumping out of a toad, your right arm simply comes to your side. However, your left arm has to go from under your leg to the side before you jump down. Jumping out of a toad is something I really used to struggle with, but as I always say, it takes practice. So let's just put practice for number 4, because there's really no magic in jumping rope. It's discipline and dedication that makes your tricks perfect. One thing I recommend is learning a toad on both legs. You'll see it everywhere, freestyles, combos, you name it. So it definitely won't hurt being able to do it on both sides. Second trick we're learning is a cougar. I would say this trick is used as much as a toad, so guys, something you definitely need to learn. Let's get straight to it. Step number 1, arm placement. When you do a cougar, one leg goes to the side. It doesn't go in front of you as it would in like a toad, it goes to the side. You stand on one leg, bend the other one, and put your jump rope handle under your knee. Even though I am bending a little bit to the side, stand up as straight as possible. So the jump rope handle really has to go under your knee. It should be sticking out on the other side, otherwise it will be really hard to jump the trick. Step number 2, jump and wrap. Do not worry guys, we're not learning any wraps, I just had no idea how to name this step. Do a slow jump, go into your cougar, try to jump through it, and then just let the rope wrap around your leg. When people struggle with learning new skills and tricks, sometimes it's because they skip the part where you practice slowly. If you practice slowly, then it will be easier for you to do the trick faster afterward. Step number 3, jumping out of a cougar. There's many ways you can jump out of a cougar, but the easiest one is probably by doing 2 side swings. Jump the cougar, and as the rope comes forward, you first do a side swing on your left side, right side, and then an open jump. The hand that's under your knee just comes out into side swings. The harder way to jump out of a cougar is by doing a cross. So you do a cougar, and then as you're jumping down, your right arm goes on the top to the right side, and then your left arm goes to the bottom on the left side into a cross, and then an open jump. You need to put down your leg quickly so it doesn't get tangled in the rope. Break time. Have I mentioned jumping rope's really exhausting? So for our last trick, we're going to combine a toad and a cougar together, and learn the Awesome Annie. So as I already said, Awesome Annie is a combination of a cougar and a toad. So here's how you go from a cougar into a toad. A little note, you can either have left-sided cougar plus right-sided toad or right-sided cougar plus left-sided toad. Step number 1, how to switch from a cougar to a toad. The arm under your knee goes under your leg when you switch into a toad, and the arm on the side goes on top of the toad. But it is kind of hard to explain, and I think it would be just easier to learn this by watching, since you can already do a toad and a cougar and you just have to combine them. So just watch these clips of me doing it and hopefully it will help you. For step number 2, we're doing a slow Awesome Annie. Now let's try doing the Awesome Annie but slowly. Go into a cougar and you're doing the same movement as you did in the last step. You're just adding a jump to it. Now you go into a toad, but you're not going to jump the toad. You're going to do a side swing and then go back into the cougar. Your hand is doing circles. Your top hand is almost doing circles in the front of your chest. So it's cougar, and then you go into side swing, toad, side swing. The rope is going back and forth behind your back. Again, it's hard to explain this on video, and it's also hard to give you tips when I don't know what you are struggling with. But I think with some practice, you'll learn it just fine. Step number 3, speed it up. Awesome Annie is that trick that can be done slowly and fast, but obviously faster is harder. It's not as hard to learn this trick as it is to look good doing this trick. I don't know, it sounds weird, but like, to look good while doing this trick is probably the hardest thing. And it's the same for a toad, a cougar. Stand up straight, because if you'll be bent down like this, it won't look good and you're making it harder for yourself. You made it to the end of this video, and I know it's longer than usual, but I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. And without further talking, I'm gonna see you next time. Okay, bye!